Yeah, I know my voice is not good. I'm a bit sick. Sorry about that. First up, Twitch is being fined 435 million won, or around 300,000 US dollars, for suspending their service in Korea. The KCC, or Korean Communications Commission, issued this fine specifically after Twitch disabled VODs in South Korea alone, stating it wasn't necessary to keep the streaming service alive. When asked to justify their claims, Twitch declined due to contractual obligations related to keeping user and site data private. Additionally, Twitch would have to present evidence that their decision to gradually take features away from South Korean users and leave the country was necessary. In tandem with this development, South Korean streamers were protesting the site shutting down by streaming adult content like sexualized games and not wearing a lot of clothes while doing so. And although it isn't indefinite and we don't have a return date for Twitch yet, a lot of streamers have migrated back to Afrika or across to YouTube, where a lot of them built followings from VOD content. Up next, Freak was called out on Twitter for making a build mistake in one of his recent games. I'm going to post a screenshot here. I'm sure a lot of you can figure out what it is just by looking at his items. Not to be taken too seriously though, this was just a normal, and I'm sure we've all made build mistakes like this before. Moving on, we have a bit of feedback already about the League red side camera changes I mentioned in my previous video. From my good friend Zach here and NA Challenger Riven Main, he shows this clip where, because the per side offset changes, half of his screen just gets covered by trees. Doesn't look too bad when you're just focusing on the Riven in the clip, but when you actually look at the bigger picture and realize how much of the screen is cut off by the camera changes, it really puts it into perspective.
Gragas cannot beat me. Too much healing now. Red pot. Okay, wait.
Not sure how I'd fix this change other than just revert it, maybe make a camera block on the edges of the map, but it might make it feel a bit funny when playing near the bottom and top of the lanes. I don't know. Up next, a rioter is under fire after he was in one of Tyler1's games. In that game specifically, Tyler had a ghoster on the enemy team who admitted it in chat, saying he could hear Tyler. And when he asked the rioter, who was also on the enemy team, what he was going to do about it, the rioter simply replied that the game was going fine on his end, seemingly ignoring the issue. I don't really know what this rioter specifically is meant to do about the ghosting, but I mean, at least some acknowledgement would have been good, or maybe if you don't want to deal with it, he could have just not replied. Anyway, just before we jump into the main topic of today, a quick thanks to today's sponsor. I haven't been this pumped for a sponsorship, well, ever, because I use this product every day and can confidently recommend it through my own personal experience. So a huge thank you to Opera GX for sponsoring this video. For a long time, browsers have been huge consumers of your PC power and internet bandwidth. I still remember the days of having to tab out while I was streaming just to close Chrome because my OBS and game would lag if I had my browser open while streaming. To combat this, the 5 heads over at Opera cooked up GX Control, a panel that allows you to allocate a certain amount of CPU, RAM, and internet bandwidth to your browser so it doesn't get in the way of streaming or in-game performance. Alongside this, Opera GX has all your messaging services embedded in the sidebar, seamlessly allowing you to communicate to your friends or teammates with minimal alt-tabbing. I also really love the dark default neon theme, but if it's not your thing, Opera's GX mods have got you covered. With GX mods, you can change the browser to be themed after your favorite league champion, your favorite game, or even your favorite waifu, and that's not even scratching the surface with GX mods. They even let you change your browser sounds, such as when you type, open and close tabs, or add your own background music. And one of their newest features is Aria, Opera GX's own AI, and you can even enable other AI services like ChatGPT or ChatSonic right in the toolbar for ease of use. To give all of this a go yourself, check out the link in the description and download Opera GX today. And for the main topic of today, holy shit, the LCK is falling apart. Now I know this story is a few days old by now, but I waited on reporting on it just because I wanted to see the response that came of the situation first. On the 25th of last month, the LCK underwent a barrage of ping issues, causing a series of pauses that lasted upwards of 6 hours in one series. In the DK versus DRX series, the first pause was called on the 9th minute of the first game due to ping issues, and this one lasted about 10 minutes. Less than 10 minutes pass and yet another pause is called, this one going for longer than 20 minutes, but 3 minutes after that pause finished, another started, this time going for nearly 40 minutes. While the actual game only took 25 minutes and 50 seconds to finish, the broadcast time was over 2 hours due to pauses. Okay, now that that game is over, we can reset and refresh, right? Wrong. At 2 minutes and 21 seconds into the second game, the mother of all pauses at 2 hours and 30 minutes begun. Spectators began leaving the venue and players were looking pretty tired.
But I feel like the delays is like there or something, but I don't know. Oh, Wolf was translating fan signs and stuff.
Oh, Wolf is with us.
Thanks, Wolf. Appreciate you, man.
Outside the studio, personalities too were sharing their reactions.
Fun to play.
Appreciate that.
Anyway,
Take a look at it.
yeah, cool. Anyway, have a wonderful day and take care.
This pause was so severe that Riot Korea had begun planning to postpone the entire day of matches. The third game in this series, which began at 3 PM, finished at 9:45 PM, and as caster Atlas jokingly put it, was the longest series at LoL Park to date. The LCK then released this official statement following the series on their Twitter, which didn't really explain too much except what we already knew. Following that series, it was uncovered that the LCK, despite being hosted on a local network, was suffering DDoS attacks, as per this statement on their Twitter in regard to the following Bro vs KDF match. This problem wasn't only for these matches though. On the 28th, T1 faced FearX for one game, which suffered attacks, of course. The LCK promptly postponed Game 2 to another date, which was yesterday, and released the pre-recorded VOD on stream alongside this statement on their Twitter, confirming that the rest of the week will be pre-recorded games to further reduce influence from DDoS attacks while they rectify the issues. Following all this shit, LCK journalist Ashley Kang had this to say, noting that it is possible, not confirmed however, that the change to Riot ID may have caused a security breach in the client, making it easier for DDoS attacks to occur. This is, as I just said, speculation though, and the situation is still developing. And lastly, unsurprisingly, all the Runaan changes have been reverted, so we won't be seeing any crazy Master Yi Infinite Q Runaan's builds, thank the Lord. And that's all for today. To close out the video, I'm going to leave you with this hilarious clip from Spearshot. His links will be in the description. Bye!
Talia, she's TPing. Hey, where you heading? What the f was? I can't, bro. I can't do it. Like, I just can't. Like, I honestly, chat, I can't. Like, what the f was that? Like, no, chat, what the f was that? Excuse me. What the f was that?